First, I'd like to start off with a quote from Jay Billis from ESPN.com. The NCAA states clearly that athletes are to be like any other student, yet the association involves the athlete in such a heavily commercialized, multi-billion-dollar endeavor that it ends up restricting the athlete from any college benefit beyond a university community or beyond a scholarship. No other person within a university community is so restricted. Amateurism provides no benefit to the athlete, neither enhancing his education nor making him a better person. The Olympics began taking amateurism out of its charter in 1970s, yet the NCAA holds on to it as a cherished ideal. Money is not the problem in college sports. The problem is that the athlete is restricted from making any. Today, I'm going to tell you why the Division I athletes should be paid or compensated for the service that they provide. First, I want to start off and say that the NCAA is a nonprofit organization. A nonprofit, by definition, is not conducting or maintaining an organization for the purpose of making a profit. Keep that in mind. And my picture up here says that the NCAA makes billions of dollars as a nonprofit organization and suspends players who take $400 for signing autographs. But that's none of my business. On NCAA.org, it says, for the 2011-2012 year, the NCAA made $871.6 million in revenue, and 96% of that is to support the NCAA championships and some student-related programs. Now, the remaining 4% comes out to be around $34 million, and I can only imagine where that money goes. I also want to make clear that the NCAA does not pay for school scholarships. The universities do. Also, the university takes care of team traveling expenses, hotels, and meals when playing at away games. The NCAA does not cover any of those expenses. From the USA Today, the NCAA recently just signed a contract for $10.8 billion for just TV rights for the March Madness basketball tournament, which is just one sport and only in 1 month. The NCAA also makes $174 million per 5 bowl games from CBS.com. There are 34 bowl games total, so they make over $1.9 billion a year in just bowl games. The NCAA has one of the worst business models because the NCAA keeps all of the money that the athletes generate, and the athletes will never see a dime of it. After hearing those numbers, it is obvious to why this topic has such a hot debate. I think sports analyst Stephen A. Smith said it best in an article that he wrote. College basketball, like college football, is a billion-dollar business. Money pours into athletic departments, coaches' pockets, sneaker companies, hotels, airlines, restaurants, souvenir merchants, networks, newspapers, and yes, magazine columnists. Meanwhile, the laborers who are in most need are expected to watch everyone pad their wallets. Please. A lot of arguments on why student athletes should not be paid are that they receive a full ride scholarship, they should play for the love of the game, that they should play for free because they aren't professionals. First, I want to start off with the full ride scholarships. Not all of them receive full ride scholarships to play a sport. Some of them receive half, and some of them don't even receive a scholarship. Even the ones that do receive a full ride scholarship have to put in the effort in the classroom and on the court to earn that scholarship. And there was a study done in 2009 where researchers in National Athletes Advocacy showed that the average full ride scholarship for Division I athletes have to end up paying $3,000 on average annually for school-related expenses not covered by the full scholarship. And right here, this is from the Ohio State University. It says when college athletes are recruited with the promise of full rides, they aren't necessarily told that their scholarship won't cover all their expenses. For example, at Ohio State, the cost of attendance for in-state is $25,833, and the scholarship value is only $22,258, which is around $3,000 difference. Now, I understand why people think that they should play for the love of the game, but I think that sometimes they play harder than the professionals do. And again, like I said earlier, it is hard for student athletes to be doing most of the work that they do and going out and performing in front of thousands of paying customers. And when they hear that the NCAA is making $10.8 billion off of TV contracts, It's hard to think and wonder why they don't get paid just a little bit of that amount. Now, I get that paying athletes would be complicated and unfair because some sports like football and basketball get more attention than rowing and golf. It would be complicated to pay who gets more money and who gets less. But the solution that I have is that the NCAA should remove current barriers that limit the student athlete from receiving compensation for his or her image. They should be allowed to hire an agent, have paid appearances, make money when the NCAA sells their name on clothing and video games. This way, the NCAA will not have to pay the athletes, and the athlete can make a name for him or herself and make money off of it. Now, I want to leave you with this thought. Who are the ones going to class every day, practice every morning and night? The players. Who are the ones doing fundraising events, running summer camps and summer workout programs? The players. Who are the ones playing in front of hundreds of thousands of people who pay to watch them? The players. Who gets paid? The NCAA. Thank you.